I would ask Assistant Secretary of Defense for Energy Infrastructure, Mr. Niemeyer, to give his remarks. Thank you for coming here from the United States.
Very much appreciate it, and it's been an amazing trip already. Vice Minister and Ambassador, thank you for the opportunity to speak on behalf of Secretary Jim Mattis, Secretary of Defense. I work directly for him, working energy policies for the Department of Defense worldwide, and it's an honor to be here today to be able to present some comments to you. Would also like to recognize the fact that the U.S. has and continues to be a consistent, reliable partner, working with the Center's efforts to increase collaboration across the military, government, industry, and academic sectors. Moreover, I'm proud that we finally have a U.S. military representative working with the Center. This will no doubt assist our efforts. Piece of technology here. No worries. It's a great opportunity to be here in Lithuania. Vice Minister, I would like to commend your efforts to diversify your sources of natural gas and electricity, especially in the construction of the LNG plant in Klaipėda. You're a model for other countries seeking to enhance energy security. I want to thank you for the opportunity to talk to you and spend some time here. Also, congratulations on the agreements with Poland, Estonia, Latvia, and the European Commission on the technical means to synchronize the Baltic and U.S. and the EU electrical grids. The United States strongly supports this project as an important step to building the resiliency and capacity of your power network, as well as furthering the integration of the EU energy market. We're looking forward to increasing collaboration on energy resiliency with the Center of Lithuania and across NATO. With nearly 50,000 troops from all our nations just completing the Trident Juncture exercise in the region, we all can see the strengths of our alliances and the challenges we have still yet to face. As for the theme of this session, creating policy for strategic energy initiatives, I'd like to share some insights into how we in the Department of Defense view the future of policies and programs for energy technologies as described in the U.S. National Defense Strategy released earlier this year by Secretary Mattis. The strategy has three overarching themes: enhancing lethality for our forces, strengthening our alliances to include definitely those in NATO, and in reforming the department's business practices. As a retired military officer who has been in this job for 15 months, this strategy serves as my commander's intent on the policies, actions, and engagements in industry that we need to undertake in order to be able to accomplish our objectives. Secretary Mattis has been very clear about how he views, and he's asked me to take on the challenges of releasing us from the tether of fuel, of enhancing our operational flexibility, and most important, to be able to provide power in a contested environment. All three of those serve as our goals and objectives that we are rigorously pursuing across the Department of Defense. Simply put, the strategy lays out the fact that we are in the midst of a revolutionary change that makes energy even more critical. Advancements in electric vehicles, robotics, increasing automation will drive an even greater dependence on reliable energy. As energy does more, we will also need more. The National Defense Strategy outlines future battlefields that will have more sophisticated sensors, cyber forces, directed energy weapons, and artificial intelligence systems, all needing reliable power. If you look at the changing character of warfare, we are moving towards technologies that will increase electrical demand and require both enhanced system reliability and enhanced reliance on our NATO partners. As resilient substitutes for logistically vulnerable fuels, new systems and capabilities powered by electricity will grow across all domains. Consequently, future warfighters will need exponentially more energy with quicker recharge capabilities to adapt and prevail in future conflicts. The ability of directed energy weapons, in which energy itself is the weapon, to deliver precise effects against a variety of targets at speed of light is revolutionizing our approach to air, land, and sea warfare. We envision emerging systems like this to drive the need for innovation the innovation gathered today, we see over here in the hall, more only innovation and new technologies we're going to need in the future to ensure we can employ these systems effectively for the defense, not just the United States, but of NATO. We see a 30 kW laser already fielded on the USS Portland can defeat small boat attacks. A 60 kW laser will soon be fitted on AC-130 gunships and high-energy lasers on ground vehicles and helicopters to transform short-range air defense and precision strike. We also see autonomous systems emerging that will decrease the risk of resupplying forces, but will need electricity to move across the battlefield. As the battlefield becomes more complex, new technologies like sensors, such as the advanced missile radar on our destroyers, will require more power to detect and engage multiple targets. Responding to persistent adversary threats will require systems to be always on in order to autonomously monitor and defend against rockets, artillery, and missiles, while degrading an adversary's surveillance and communication systems. As our reliance on energy increases, so will the risk and assured availability. Anti-access, anti-denial weapons, cyber attacks, political manipulation of energy markets, irregular and hybrid threats. Each of these are just more examples of logistics, especially energy, being weaponized. Whether you point to Napoleon's invasion of Russia, World War II, or common experiences in Iraq and Afghanistan, or the more recent disruption of energy and power here in the region, energy, logistics, and infrastructure have become and will be targeted. Kinetic attacks are not the only risks we face collectively. Reliance on energy sources that provide adversaries the ability to coerce consumers and partners is still a major challenge. As the defense strategy notes, it is now undeniable that the homeland is no longer a sanctuary. And we're talking not just the U.S. homeland, but our homeland in other countries. This warning extends to our allies. We cannot assume that our adversaries will keep the fight on the battlefield. Commercial electrical grids currently providing reliable power at low cost will become a target of choice to threaten and disrupt the response capabilities of all of our nations. Limited east to west infrastructure currently providing reliable power at low cost will become a target of choice to threaten and disrupt the response capabilities of alliance. The next fight, as laid out in the National Defense Strategy, includes the efforts to deny or destroy critical energy infrastructure, to disrupt both essential national security missions and our way of life. As our forces require more power and energy, they will become the energy itself will become increasingly a target. This issue becomes more complex as the department shifts away from large centralized installations towards a more distributed posture. It means bases scattered around Europe and around the world. We must rely even more on our allies and the partners to procure, secure, and distribute reliable power. So as such, how do you translate these understanding of the threat into policy? And that's what we're working on every day. In addition to energy efficiency, and we have not abandoned the idea that by providing efficient systems, we can provide more resources for other priorities for our military, but we are very much shifted our focus towards energy security as commensurate or in a higher priority than energy efficiency. The Department of Defense is taking a more self-deterministic approach to secure energy for strategically important missions. The Department has embarked on a series of initiatives to ensure future military installations, infrastructure, and battlefields are secure from an increased array of cyber, kinetic, and other risks to our technology-centric forces. The recent Brussels Summit Declaration, already mentioned here this morning, highlighted that a stable and reliable energy supply, the diversification of routes, suppliers, and energy resources, and the interconnectivity of energy networks are of critical importance. We could not agree more in the Department of Defense. While we're still pursuing energy efficiency, and we'll start pursuing energy technologies that offers us a wide variety of generation sources, planners at military bases in the United States and around the world for contingency operations are embracing a new energy framework defined by resilient distributed energy generation, advanced controls, protected controls, cybersecurity enhancements, microgrids, and increased storage. We've recently embarked on an effort working with industry to pursue micro-nuclear reactors, less than 5 megawatts of power, that can act like nuclear batteries and long-range generation to provide 2 to 3 years, if not more, of assured baseload power for critical missions and remote installations. This satisfies one of the Secretary of Defense's orders to me was to help us get off the grid and to be able to operate independently without relying on the commercial grid for our more critical missions we have, not just the United States, but around the world. We believe that the future technology of micro-nuclear reactors offers us the ability to do that. We're also exploring innovative contracting mechanisms to acquire electricity that have been methods that have been done in Europe for years, but we have now only recently taken a look at that will allow us to free up some capital to improve the security of our installations, energy security of installations. We are implementing rigorous system testing by voluntarily disconnecting military installations off the grid to see what works and what doesn't work. This program has been very effective for us to get a better understanding of where we need to put additional resources by actually taking the entire military installation off the grid for a period of time to see where we need to make improvements. We've driven greater awareness in energy and fuel denial challenges in our war games and command scenarios. We're also undertaking initiatives to accelerate oil and natural gas development on military installations independently to be able to drill from and to extract gas and oil to allow us to power our bases without necessarily relying on the grid again. We have also significantly enhanced our partnership with the United States Department of Energy to address common challenges for grid resilience, commercial grid resilience, and the need for continuous power of critical national infrastructure. Bottom line, no threat or attack to our energy sources or distribution will deny us our fundamental capability to employ a full range of weapon systems to protect our national interests and those of our allies. In closing, I'd like to, again, emphasize thank you. My thanks and my appreciation for having the opportunity to talk to the group here. I would also like to appreciate the opportunity. I want to introduce my colleague, Oliver Fritz, if you would like to stand up. He and I will be spending the next couple of days. Would love to hear from you all on what you believe we have technology-wise and new system-wise that might be able to assist us in the goals we've laid out. It's absolutely important for us to be able to continue to engage with industry, to be able to hear the ideas that are out there that ultimately we can take back and then formulate and work into our policies and our actions that we are working, not just in the United States and around the world. Our goal is to ensure, working with our NATO allies, that we no longer have to worry about energy, that it will be assured energy for assured missions on the battlefield, and then that we can continue to collaborate on how best to make that happen. The National Defense Strategy does lay out a clear set of priorities for sustainment of warfighting capabilities to protect our nation's interests. These priorities require the full range of resources to generate, distribute, and store power. Energy assurance enables mission assurance. The wider the range of energy sources, the more flexible and resilient our ability to supply power must be. As such, we aggressively and will aggressively continue to move with NATO to ensure our nation and our partners retain and secure access to energy. Thanks so much, and I look forward to the questions.